Hello and welcome to Free Lesson Friday. Today we're going to be looking at multiplication. So before we start, please remember to like and subscribe below because it really does help. So in today's lesson, we're going to be multiplying a 2-digit number by a 1-digit number. So let's get this started. Okay, so here's the warm-up activity. Pause the video here to answer the questions and then resume the video when you're ready. So we're going to go through the answers now. So 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 30 is 120. Now, as you can see, because this is 10 times bigger, the answers are 10 times bigger. For the second question, we've got 3 lots of 12s, so we need to write a multiplication expression to match the addition. So here we've got either 3 times 12 or 12 times 3. Remember, you can write them either way around and you get the same answer. For the second one, you've got 4 lots of 15. So it's 4 times 15 or 15 times 4. And for the final one, you've got 2 lots of 26. So it's either 2 times 26 or 26 times 2. And then for the final question, you need to multiply each number by 2. So 13 is 26, 23 becomes 46, 33 becomes 66, and 43 becomes 86. And as you can see, because the ones are the same, the ones in the doubles are all the same. But because the 10s go up in 1, when you double them, they go up in 2s. Okay, so going on to today's lesson now. Each of these shelves contains 24 rolls, and there are 4 shelves in total. So how many are there? So we've got 24 rolls per shelf. What we're going to do, we're going to partition 24 into 10s and 1s. And then we're going to multiply both of them by 4. So 4 times 20 is 80, and 4 times 4 is 16. So 80 plus 16 is 96 in total, so we just add them together. Therefore, 4 times 24 is 96 in total. Okay, for this sum, 26 times 3, we're going to use a place value chart, and we're going to use base 10 to represent the numbers. So here we've got 2 10s and 6 1s, okay, for the 26. And each row, because you've got 3 rows, that's what we're multiplying by. So it's exactly the same 26 on each of the rows. Now here we're going to start with the 10s. Should really start with the 1s, but we're going to start with the 10s. So we've got 2 10s times 3, and all you got to do is count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got 6 10s. Now we're going to count the 1s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we've got 18 1s. Now we need to combine them. Now remember, 6 10s is the same as 60. So we're going to write 60 there because that's the value of them. Plus the 18 1s, 60 plus 18 is 78. So therefore, 26 times 3 equals 78. Have a look at this place value chart. Have a think what multiplication is being shown. Just to remind you, the number is the top row, and what we multiply is the number of rows. Okay, so as we said, we've got the top row as our number, and we've got 3 10s, which equals 30, and 2 1s, so 32. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So it's 32 times 5. Going to partition that 32 into 10s and 1s. So 30 times 5 is 150, which you can count on here. And 2 times 5 is 10. So 150 plus 10 is 160. So 32 times 5 is the same as 160. Now it's your turn to have a go at questions 1 to 4. So here's question 1. There are 23 marbles in a jar and there are 5 jars. So here it is represented on the place value chart in base 10. So I've gone through the first two parts to help you, okay? So we've got 5 times 3 ones is 15, and 5 times 2 tens is 10. So 5 times 2 is 10. But we've got to remember that the value of those tens is 100. So use those figures to go through question 1. Pause here to complete the question. Okay, moving on to page 2. Question 2, sorry. So here, we're just going straight to the values now. So we're going to start with the ones. So we've done 4 times 5 ones is 20, and 4 times 10 is 40. 10, 20, 30, 40. So you can use those values to add them together to get your answer. Pause here to complete the question. Okay, moving on to question 3. So what I've done here is to help, I've put that we're doing the ones first and then the tens, okay? But remember, we're just doing the value. So for the tens, counting 10, okay? Once you've got that, add them together to get your answer. Do this for A and B. Pause here to complete the question. Okay, moving on to question 4. So what I've done, I've modelled how to answer these questions. So what we do is we multiply, we're going to partition each of the 2-digit numbers into tens and ones. We multiply the ones together first, and then we multiply the tens together, and then we add the sums to find the total. And as you can see, 80 plus 16 is 96. There's our answer. So use that method to answer each of the questions. If I just scroll down a little bit, there you go. Pause the video here to answer the question. Okay, we're going to move on now to the PowerPoint. And as you can see here, so we got 14 times something equals 56. So it's going to do a little bit different now. So what could you do here to find the answer? Pause here and have a think. Right, let's have a look to see if you were correct. So we know that this is our number 14, okay, and that we multiply it several times to make 56 in total. So what we're going to do, we're going to add 14 again and again and again until we get to 56. So 14 add 14 is 28, excuse me. Add another 14, okay. So just to show you, we've got 3 tens here. We've also got more than 10 ones here. So 30 plus 10 is 40. So it's 42. We're going to add another 14 here. And now we've got to 56. So because we've got to our total and they match, we stop and we count the number of rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the number behind the frog is 4. Okay, final part now. Mo is thinking of a number. He multiplies it by 4. He gets to 172. What was he thinking of to begin with? Have a think to see if you can solve the answer. Right, let's see if you were correct. So we've got to the end, but we don't know all the parts in the beginning. So what we're going to have to do is work backwards, and this is called using the inverse. So the inverse to multiplication is divide. So we've got 172. Now, he multiplied it by 4, so we're going to use the inverse and divide by 4. But 170 and 2 don't divide by 4. So what we're going to do is change the numbers. We're going to take 10 off this side and add it onto this side, because 160 does divide by 4 and 12 also divides by 4. So 160 divided by 4 is 40, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. And there you go, represented on the place value chart. So we know the original number he was thinking of was 43. I hope you got the same answer there. Okay, and now it's time to have a go at the rest of the worksheet. So as you can see, this is question 5. Now I've already done 4A to help you. So I've used the repeated addition method to work this out. Okay, so I kept adding 22 until I got to 88, and then I counted the number of times I added it. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So my answer was 4. Now, B is a little bit trickier because we don't know what the starting number is. So have fun, do a bit of trial and error, see what two-digit number you can add repeatedly until you get 124. Once you get your 124, count the number of times you added it and fill in your answer there. Pause the video here to complete the question. Okay, moving on to the final question now. Okay, so I've come up with an example here of using the digit cards to create a multiplication sum. There are many different sums. As you can see, I've used the same digit card for more than once, so you can too. So have a go and think of a multiplication sum on your own. Pause the video here. Okay, and for the final part, you're going to work with someone at home or try and do it yourself. Work with somebody to find a calculation that has an odd product, an even product, an exchange in the ones column, and an exchange in the ones and tens column. It's a bit tricky, this one, but have fun with it and pause the video here. And when you're ready, we'll go through the answers. Okay, so we're going to go through the answers now. So question 1. So it was 15 plus 10 tens. Now remember, 10 tens was 100. So we're going to put a 15 plus 100 equals 115. So 5 times 23 is 115. So therefore, there are 115 marbles in total. I hope you got that question correct. Moving on to question 2. Okay, so we're going to add these sums together. It's a bit easier when we just doing the values. So 20 plus 40 equals 60. So therefore, 4 times 15 is 60. Moving on to question 3. So we're going to do the ones first. So it was 3 times 1, 2, 3, 4 ones, which equals 12. And then we're going to add the tens. Now, just to, I hope you didn't put that down. The answer is the number of tens. I hope you put down the value. So if you didn't quickly change it. Okay, but we've got 2 tens in the top. So that's 20. And we're going to count in tens. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, and then we're going to add them together. So 12 plus 60 equals 72. So 3 times 24 is 72. Moving on to B, we've got 3 tens and 5 ones. So that makes 35. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. So 35 times 4. Okay, so what I'm going to do, that's the sum, which is at the bottom, sorry. So I'm going to do times the ones together first. So 5 times 4, which equals 20. I'm going to do the tens now. So it is 30 times 4, which is 120. And then I'm going to add the two together. So 20 plus 120 equals 140. So 35 times 4 is 140. Moving on to question 4 now. So I'm going to use the same method throughout. Okay, so we're going to do the ones first. So 3 times 7 equals 21. 3 times 10 equals 30. 30 plus 21 equals 51. So the answer is 51. Same for C now. 3 times 5 equals 15. 3 times 20 equals 60. 60 plus 15 equals 75. So my answer is 75. Moving on to D. 4 times 4 equals 16. 4 times 30 equals 120. So 120 plus 16 equals 136. That's my answer there. E. I'm going to change the colour so we don't get confused. So 5 times 5 equals 25. 5 times 20 equals 100. 100 plus 25 equals 125. 1, 2, 5. There we go. Then 5 times 6 equals 30. 30 times 6 equals 180. 180 plus 30 equals 210. There's our answer. Okay. Last two. 5 times 6 equals 30. 5 times 20 equals 100. 100 plus 30 equals 130. And then we've got 4 times 6 equals 24. 4 times 30 equals 120. 120 plus 24 equals 144. And there's our answer there. Oh, that was a meaty question. Right, moving on to question 5. Okay, I've already gone through part A. Quick. And the answer for this one was 31 times 4. Okay, so you could have a trial and error, or you could have seen what number 124 divides by to get your 31. Okay, I've already given an example for part A for question 6. And there are multiple answers for B. So that was just for a bit of fun. Right, I was just checking some there. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed today's free lesson. If you are interested in one-to-one maths tuition, please email me below or follow the Facebook link. And I look forward to seeing you next Friday. Take care.